Ukraine is striking Russia's air defense system. Over 48 hours, 6 units have been destroyed, from radars to combat launchers. Among the targets hit are Strela Ten, Buk, Tor, and even the rare radar of the S-350 system. What does this mean? The Russian army is losing key elements of its air defense. The strikes are precise. The strikes are demonstrative. The systems detected the threat but were unable to protect themselves. This is not just damage, it is the dismantling of confidence. Let us go step by step. The first video shows a direct hit on a Strela Ten system. The footage clearly shows the launcher detecting a Ukrainian drone and beginning to react. The missiles drop into a combat position, but there was not enough time. The strike hit the operator's turret area. By the design of the system, this is a vulnerable point. If the armor is penetrated, the operator could be killed on the spot. The launcher was not completely blown apart, but it was rendered inoperable. This is no longer equipment, it is wreckage. According to data from the beginning of the full-scale war, Russia had around 300 Strela Ten units. At least 56 have been destroyed. That is nearly every fifth one. A system designed for close-range combat proved unprepared even for a basic aerial threat. No interception, no protection, only impact. And this is only the beginning. The next strike is no longer a single target, it is a sequence. Ukraine released a compilation of 6 strikes on Russian air defense systems and radars. All of the strikes occurred within 48 hours, all on one sector of the front. This is not coincidence, this is an operation. The first clip shows a strike on a Tor M2 system. The footage shows the system operating. The radar is rotating, the crew is on combat alert, but that does not help. The strike comes from the rear, an explosion in the back of the vehicle. The equipment catches fire. The result is the loss of a combat unit capable of defending against missiles and drones at low altitude. Next comes a strike on the 50N6E radar, which is part of the S-350 system. This is a rare asset. It is responsible for target tracking. Destroying such a target is not merely a tactical success, it is a breach in the medium-range defensive contour. The strike landed while the radar was under cover, but the cover did not save it, a direct hit. Then come 2 strikes on Buk launchers. One was hidden under netting and trees. The second was concealed behind a primitive shield. Both were hit. The video shows crew members scattering nearby. One of the systems was likely detected by its thermal signature. The equipment was active. Camouflage did not help. The final episode shows another Tor, this time positioned among other assets. Soldiers are visible, and nearby there is light equipment, possibly an electronic warfare system. But if it was a jammer, it did not work. The strike landed precisely. The result is 6 targets hit over 2 days. Air defense assets, radars, command elements. No reaction, no interception. Each strike is documented. This is no longer just a series of points on a map. This is a demonstration that the Russian air defense system is within the strike zone, and what was previously hidden under nets and concrete is now being found and destroyed. The Tor complex is one of the most protected short-range systems in the Russian army. At the beginning of the war, around 130 units were in service. At least 70 have been confirmed destroyed. Losses exceed half. Considering that some equipment was additionally supplied, the real percentage of losses is even higher. Buk is already medium range. It is what is supposed to cover columns, depots, logistics. In active service, there are 310 units. Confirmed losses are no fewer than 130, practically half. It was precisely the Buk systems that Ukraine targeted especially actively last year in order to clear the sky for its drones and missiles. The S-350 system is a rarity altogether. At the present moment, the destruction of only 2 targets has been confirmed, and both are radars, the very components without which the system itself cannot function. Russia does not disclose the exact number of such complexes in service, but judging by the reaction, each lost element is critical. If we add it up, in a single episode, Ukraine destroyed 2 Tors, 2 Buks, 1 S-350 radar, and 1 Strela Ten, 7 strikes, over 2 days. This is not just good footage for social networks. This is a reduction in the density of Russian air defense in a specific sector. These are gaps in the defense through which, within a day, new strikes can already pass, this time against airfields, depots, and command posts. The drone war is not about territory, but about control of the air. Russia continues to rely on a Soviet-era air defense architecture, but architecture collapses when it is hit with precision, and when in the air there is not an aircraft but a small, almost invisible drone with a camera and a charge. This is no longer reconnaissance, this is surgery, and this is only one sector of the front. All the strikes shown in these videos were carried out in the area of the Zaporizhzhia front. Ukraine does not disclose the exact geolocation, but one thing is clear, these are not random raids. This is a planned operation to suppress air defense, and it is working. For the Russian army, this is a signal. Technology no longer saves it, even when it works. Even when it detects the target, the system does not react in time, neither to intercept nor to protect, which means the sky no longer belongs to it. This means that every train, every warehouse, every convoy is now exposed. Drones no longer simply fly, they cut down air defense. And without air defense, command posts, arsenals, and bridges are next. In 2 days, -6 systems. With no losses on the side of the strike assets, with no chance of interception, with no response. And if in 48 hours it is possible to destroy 6 key elements of air defense, what can be done in a week? Russia knows the answer. That is exactly why it remains silent.